in the applications of these adults to send kids to camp, they have these cheerful stories about how they've lost their jobs because of the pandemic, etc. And the waiting list is very, very long. And so obviously we continue to ask our donors and our readers for as much money as they can afford, because you're right. This is probably, I don't want to say the worst in history, but it is the most demanding because of the pandemic.
Marcel, when it comes to those people who want to apply, how can they do that? But most importantly, for people who are listening this morning and think, you know what, I do have that extra money right now, and I can help send a kid to camp, where can they go to donate?
They can go to our website at longbeachcf.org, and there's a button right on the homepage where it says send a kid to camp. It's easy as that. They can also send us a check made out to the Long Beach Community Foundation and put send a kid to camp in the memo, but really the online is the quickest and easiest. And I also heard you talk about, the isolation of these kids. And one point I do want to mention is that the mental health of these young people was so negatively affected. Our youth were isolated and all the stress brought on by the pandemic. It's something that we learned really firsthand when we were emergency fund providers to the charities that were at the front lines right at the onset of the pandemic. So, fast forward, 2 years later, and even 1 year, the 1 year later, the charities tried to provide camp as best they could. But this is the first time that these youth will have the opportunity to have that full camp experience, be away from their families, be away from their comfort, and really go be able to explore and truly be kids.
Rich and Marcel, thank you both so much this morning. Continue the great work, because this is an opportunity that a lot of kids would not get if it weren't for you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer, for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Have a great morning. This is KFI and KOST-HD2 Los Angeles. Let's check that drive on the 71.
Got a pretty major problem for your crime. There's a fatality crash investigation underway for the southbound side of the 71 transition to the 60 eastbound. Got a wreck involving a motorcycle, and that's causing some major delay. 71 southbound now from as far back as the 10. Northbound 71 also going to be rough for the ride from the 60 as folks make their way toward Mission Boulevard. Side to the 57 north and southbound as you're also into the 71 north and south. Between the 10 and the 60, northbound 57 looks pretty good. 60 to the 10, 10 and the 60 southbound, you'll see delays from Temple out of Pomona as you make way toward the 60 in the Diamond Bar area. Also affecting your drive westbound 60 out of Chino from as far back as Reservoir. Westbound 60 to the 27 as folks make their way toward the 57. Got an update on this problem or anything else slowing you down? Pound 250 on your cell phone. Keyword KFI traffic westbound side of the 91 to Riverside coming away from La Sierra. Heavy stretches of slowing way through Corona to the 241 toll road, delays further westbound to Anaheim Hills from before Lakeview as you make way toward the 55 and northbound side of the Pine out of Buenos Park, leaving Beach Boulevard, busy for your drive in the long ride up toward Valley View. KFI and the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Macaulay O'Keefe.
If you bought or leased a vehicle after 2015 and you've repeatedly gone back for repairs to no avail, your car may be a lemon. So let me introduce you to the Knight Law Group. They can help get rid of your lemon and put your money back, or get your money back, with nothing out of pocket. So call the Knight Law Group for a free consultation and high-quality representation. This is what they do. Call 844-43-LEMON, 844-43-LEMON. Visit knightlaw.com. That's Knight with a K, knightlaw.com.
As parents, we've done everything possible to protect our kids from COVID-19, from using hand sanitizers to masking up. But now we have the most important tool, vaccines. They will protect our children and the entire family. And it's okay to have questions. Ask your doctor about the COVID-19 vaccine for your child, or visit vaccinateall58.com to learn more and find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Every 3 seconds there is a new victim of identity theft. The criminals could be applying for loans in your name, selling your personal information on the dark web. Now, protecting your identity can be very easy thanks to LifeLock by Norton. No one company can prevent all identity theft or monitor every transaction of every business, but LifeLock is simple and easy to protect yourself, and you'll save up to 25% off the first year when you go to LifeLock.com or call 1-800-LifeLock. Just use the promo code Henry.
Breaking news out of Sun Valley.
There's a new voice at 5 o'clock.
A new choice for Southern California. I'm Cher Calvin. Join me and Pedro Rivera for a fresh take on today's news.
Sheriff Pedro, you're looking at
Issues from a different angle. Sam and Andy with the latest buzzworthy happenings, plus weather with Vera, Darren with sports. It's all here.
And at a better time for you.
KTLA 5 News. Join us weekday evenings at 5 o'clock.
Another reason why KTLA is LA's very own.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
SoCal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy today. Highs will be in the mid-60s at the beaches. Low to mid-70s for Metro LA and OC. Upper 70s to low 80s for the valleys and the IE. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your wake-up call. Handle on the news starts now.
Handle on the news.
Handle on the news.
And now, here's Bill Handel.
KFI AM 640. Good morning, everybody. Tuesday morning, May 17th. Interesting show going on today, or at least I think so. Got a lot of explaining to do, Lucy. I'm going to go back through the major issues and just try to figure out the inside scoop as to what happened, what's going on in Mariupol, the Laguna Woods shooting, the Buffalo mass shooting, some backstories. So we just get a better idea of what happened, what's going on, why, and that's all coming up today. And tech reporter Rich DeMuro joins us, and that's our day. Well, that's it. All right. Thanks for listening. Coming up, Gary and Shannon at 10 o'clock.
See you tomorrow, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, that's I've just done the show, haven't I? All right. Good morning, Jen.
Hello, Handle.
And Wayne, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Alex.
Morning.
Morning, Tyler.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. All right, and good morning to one and all. Notice I say good morning to everybody, pretending that wake-up call doesn't even happen.
Yeah, I do. I do notice that every day.
Yeah, there you go. Although I do pitch it at the end of the show saying we start with wake-up call at 5 o'clock.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah, as well you should. Okay, guys, are you ready to do it? Handle on the news with Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne Resnick, and moi, Lee Story. We're getting more information of the Laguna Woods church shooter. We know this, but a little bit deeper. He was targeting the Taiwanese community. Therefore, it was considered a hate crime. I thought it was just political.
I gave Wayne credit at the start of Wake Up Call this morning. I said, Wayne Resnick, if you were listening, you called this yesterday. You wondered if the man was of Chinese descent and was it politically motivated because it was against a Taiwanese group. Bam, you nailed it, Wayne.
That was the second most likely explanation. The most likely would have been that he was either a member of the congregation or friends or family with somebody there and had a personal beef. And if that wasn't it, the second most likely would be that he was Chinese and this was political because of China.
Yeah, but keep in mind,
Taiwan being an independent.
But a political shooting, motivation being political, I didn't think was a hate crime. I thought it was political in the sense that he was going after people who thought that Taiwan should remain independent of China. However, since they were all Taiwanese he was going after, they're viewing it as a hate crime. I think it's one step removed, is the way I take it.
He felt that because he lived in Taiwan for a while, and he felt that he was treated poorly by Taiwanese people. And that whole context is the political divide between China and Taiwan.
I understand,
So,
but
we don't need to get
no, I know we're getting into
Bunsen
minutia.
burner and figure out the percentages political and the percentages.
Right, no, I understand. But, for example, the Buffalo shooting was purely racist. I mean, that was what that was about, going after black people because they are black people. This one had all kinds of political overtones, and my argument is that it is not easy to charge a hate crime, although it's getting easier and easier as more of these are coming about. So, frankly, I was surprised that it was charged as a hate crime, but because of so many political overtones. But anyway, so he was charged with the hate crime, and I'll do more of that coming up at 7 o'clock.
Can I just finish with because he targeted them based on their national origin.
Now you see, I would. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that at 7 o'clock because I'm going to go in the other direction.
You got a real like.
I've got an uphill battle. I've got an uphill battle,
it
but
falls into a hate crime bucket.
I know it's a Sisyphusian battle, but I still am going to try it. You can look that one up.
All right, President Biden and the First Lady will go to Buffalo today. They want to show solidarity with the community after that white supremacist targeted black people at a supermarket and left 10 people dead. The president says he's going to visit a memorial in Buffalo, and then he'll actually meet with the victim's family. Have you seen the defense from the shooter's family? That he apparently, the 18-year-old, it's because of COVID. That he was so... had nothing else to do during COVID times, that he got indoctrinated into this racist thinking by reading all of this stuff on the internet. And so that COVID, had that not been for COVID, he wouldn't have been stuck at home, he wouldn't have spent this much time on the internet, and he then would not have committed this crime.
Stupid defense, because you can say anything. If he couldn't buy a gun, this wouldn't have happened. If he didn't have legs, he couldn't have walked into the supermarket. I mean, you can say anything. And I'm going to later on talk about this because there's one fact. You talk about a racist view. Well, I'll say it now, and I'll continue on later on. There was a light-skinned man who was in the checkout aisle and tried to hide, diving under it or trying to get around and hide where the clerk was. He saw him and literally walked past him and said sorry, and then went after people that were of darker skin. A light-skinned African-American was too close to white for him to shoot. Boy, you talk about and we're going to talk more about that as to what happened and some facts. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We've got plenty more to handle on the news. Let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Polls are opening for the busiest election day so far of this year. 5 states are holding primaries. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Kentucky are filling Senate seats, and that could play a role in which party gains or maintains control of Congress after November. Congress is on the verge of sending new help to Ukraine. The Senate is expected to approve a $40 billion bill tomorrow after advancing it last night. And the House Committee is holding a public hearing today on UFOs. It's the first such open congressional hearing in more than 50 years. It will be followed by a closed briefing. We've got problems that continue in Pomona. We'll check them in just a moment.
Real estate prices are actually softening. And does that mean that they're going down and maybe substantially? Who knows? But if you're thinking of selling your home, you may want to do it right now. And this is where directbuyers.com comes in. You have to worry about buyers coming in, potential buyers, real estate agents. I mean, this happens quick, like immediately. No commissions. I mean, boom, directbuyers.com will give you a fair price without any of the hassle or delay of selling your home any other way. Directbuyers.com also get paid in cash within 10 days or less. I'm going to suggest selling your home with Direct Buyers. I like the way they do business. They'll give you an honest, no obligation offer, even a $15,000 cash advance before closing, and they'll never lowball you. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
SoCal weather from the KFI, driveway.com weather center. There we go. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day ahead with temperatures just in the mid-60s to the low 80s. This report is brought to you by the Auto Club of Southern California. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. Nick Palliotini is taking us right back into Pomona.
It's still much to the drive, and the transition road still shut down. 71 south connected to the 60 eastbound, and it is a mess for your drive. And you're seeing a rough go for the 71 southbound, obviously packed in tight from Mission as you can't make that transition. 71 southbound to the 60 east. Folks are using the 57 south as an alternate to the 71 southbound. That will be busy for you out of Pomona. Moving couple toward the 60 and the 60 eastbound. Definitely seeing a bit of a rough go for you from the 57 as you make way for the 71. Westbound 60 going to be a busy drive for you as well. From the reservoir as you make way back for the 57. So if the sky helps get you there faster, I'm Nick Palliotini.
Looking to save money on auto insurance? It's easy. Get your free quote at AAA.com/insurance. You could save even more when you bundle your homeowners or renters policy too. Visit AAA.com/insurance today for your free AAA full picture quote. This report is sponsored by SaveOurWater.com. Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Let's all do our part. Save water, save California.
Arco now takes credit cards. They know. Total game changer. They'll give you a moment to process the news. And time. Stop by a station today and see for yourself. Arco. Quality top-tier gas for less, now with a credit card. See arco.com for details.
The music of John Denver is like an old friend. Don't miss Take Me Home, the music of John Denver, with Jim Curry and the La Mirada Symphony. Friday, May 27th, 8 p.m. Ticket at LaMiradaTheater.com.
Contractor license 1023790.
I hate a drain that won't drain. Don't waste your time on that grocery store liquid. Call me, Wacky Dacky, the drain opening magician. How much do you charge? $80 if we can open it with a 30-foot drain snake. How often does that work? About 9 times out of 10. What about that test time? That's when the magic happens. Tell me. I'd love to, but I wasted all of our time talking about grocery store liquid. Don't waste your time on grocery store liquid. Call Zach and me. Go. GOETPL.com.
California Attorney General is such an important job. Is there any difference between the candidates?
Oh, yeah. It's night and day. Republican Eric Early is a true conservative. He's a huge Trump supporter.
I remember Early. Wasn't he a leader in the campaign to recall Governor Newsom? Who was he running against?
The Democrat Rob Bonta. Bonta is fighting the NRA over the assault weapons ban.
Where's Republican Early on gun rights?
Eric Early is a big Second Amendment defender, and he's very pro-life.
And the Democrat, Bonta, is strongly pro-choice?
That's right. Very different from Eric Early, who proudly calls himself the candidate from the Trump wing of the Republican Party. He's pro-Trump, pro-life, and pro-gun.
That says it all.
Yep. Let's remember to vote early, before the June 7th election for Attorney General.
Ad paid for by Communities for Justice supporting Rob Bonta for Attorney General 2022. Committee major funding from Smart Justice California Action Fund. Not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
In LA, there's 2,000 people dying every year from overdoses. Outdoors.
Garcetti's being taken down because of a weirdo sex scandal that he's not even directly involved with.
But he's not taken down for having thousands of people die in the streets?
John and Ken.
The fact that the streets are a killing field is the issue that should bring these politicians down.
Weekdays at 2.
Yeah.
On KFI.
And now welcome back. Bill Handel, Morning Crew. We continue on Tuesday morning, May 17th, with Handel on the news, Jennifer Wayne and me.
Well, one of the big makers of baby formula, Abbott said it's reached an agreement with health regulators in the U.S. to restart producing baby formula at its Sturgis, Michigan plant. That plant had been under investigation for safety concerns. There's some kind of a consent decree in place, a legally binding agreement between the FDA and Abbott about what Abbott will have to do to reopen. And Abbott says we're going to reopen as soon as possible, but you're still going to be waiting 6 to 8 weeks for any of the new baby formula we make to show up on the shelf.
Now, the whole issue was they found some bacteria in the baby formula, and the agreement now has become between Abbott and the FDA, where the FDA says, it's okay, we need the formula. Not too bad. We'll live with it. No, that's not what the FDA said. But I think they just cut a deal. They're going to start manufacturing virtually immediately. The plant is opening. This is the largest plant in the country. Abbott is 40% of the baby formula in the market. I mean, that is, and that's almost a monopoly. It's so big.
All right, I've got a little update on this story. So yesterday we heard that Sweden had signed the NATO request, so it definitely wants in. And just this morning, just within the last half hour or so, I got official word from the Associated Press that Finland's parliament had overwhelmingly approved the country's NATO bid. We knew that this was coming. So both of them obviously want to join NATO right now because it's a little CYA on their part, and it's an obvious CYA, I think, in this case. And also, though, this is the time when President Putin's got bigger fish to fry than Sweden and Finland right now. So he's got Ukraine on the map. This is the time when these two countries can move in and say, okay, we'll take part.
But it's Turkey, a NATO member, who is picking up the responsibility from Russia to protest this and have big problems with it because Erdogan thinks that these two countries are havens for the Kurdish separatists.
Yeah, there's a whole geopolitical mess going on where one affects the other, which is unintended consequences is the argument here, or consequences that could be seen. And the problem is with this is that you need a unanimous vote for a country to join NATO. All 30 countries have to vote in favor, or 29 countries. Turkey may say no, and that blackballs it. Then it's done, and everybody else is going for it. But we'll see what happens. NATO says that Turkey is going to vote yes.
They'll work out some kind of, whether it's a treaty or some other agreement, where Sweden and Finland will agree to do things to make sure that they're not harboring these
the Kurds,
the Kurdish separatists that Turkey considers to be terrorists.
Yeah, and they'll
reach a side deal, and then Turkey
will vote. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And there's also an issue of trade. There'll be no tariff on Swedish meatballs anymore going to Turkey.
Oh, is that going to lower the price at IKEA?
I think that is. They're going to lower all the taxes. No more taxes on meatballs.
I just want you guys to know, too, that I'm keeping an eye on Congress holding its first hearing on UFOs in decades, and the first speaker is up right now, and they showed video of the wing of some aircraft. It couldn't tell what it was, and then you're watching the video, and he goes, there it was. But I didn't see what the thing was, but he goes, it was right there. And he goes, and so now we have concrete proof that it's either something aerial or something, that was being tested by Americans, or it was something else.
Or it could have been just the wing of an airplane, God forbid.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep an eye on this. We're going to see what comes out of it, for sure. All right.
Well, this is no surprise to anybody except maybe the people in Sacramento who voted for the law in the first place. But California's law requiring corporations to have at least 3 female directors by the end of this year has been found to be unconstitutional.
How can it not?
Exactly, how can it not? And why did they think it was going to be stay on the books? They must have known. They had to have known.
You're not allowed to have race-based or gender-based quota systems. You can't do it.
Unequal treatment based on protected status, which sex is a protected status. So, unless the whole point of it was to just raise awareness.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, I agree that it would be better if there was more diversity on social boards, but do you make your point by passing a blatantly unconstitutional law which then gets struck down? And are they going to appeal?
Here's the question. What if, as a matter of policy, because certainly legislatures, society, if you will, wants more females on boards of directors, a company, what if a corporation gets a tax break if it's a city or no? Does that fly?
No.
Because it's not a mandate.
Here's the thing. This is not, I'm actually not going to answer your question, but I'm going to go on a sidebar on this. As a woman, I would hate that because then my position on the board would be undermined by everybody in the company, male and female, feeling about that job because it's a tax break for that company, or feeling about that job because it's a mandate for that company.
You can argue still about that job because of the Me Too movement. You could. But
But at least it's not mandated, and at least there's no money behind it. If they want to just do it socially about men, let's say that there's a mandate or they got a tax break behind it. That's a totally different ballgame, and I think it would undermine any woman who is sitting on any board because of that reason.
legal question. There's a social issue to that, and then there's the legal question. I'd love to see that too.
Well, you just put together, you can do this either. You do it the way that they do college admissions, where race, in the case of college admissions, it's almost race, can be one thing. So you put together a list of criteria, and corporations who meet the criteria get a tax break. And one of the criteria is the level of diversity on the board. You find some other environmental friendliness and the other one. And then you kind of bake it in, and then that is motivates some corporations to other things. Now, at this point, I'll tell you the college admissions. So you're hiring someone based on simply skill level experience. And in an interview, they come in with a